Soul Land 2 Episode 110. Body Sect Busi. The story continues from the previous episode, where Huo Yuhao from Shrek revealed the Snow Empress spirit soul in an attempt to persuade beast god Tian to retreat. The four great fierce beasts led the Soul Beast army to attack the city. Just as Shrek City was on the verge of collapse, a large patch of eerie green light suddenly appeared from the northwest, heading towards Shrek. Xianlinger said blankly, "I see skeletons, zombies, headless knights, and many other strange creatures." Elder Song exclaimed in shock, "The Holy Ghost cult." However, he immediately felt this was unlikely, reasoning that if it truly were the Holy Ghost cult, they would surely wait until the battle was over to reap the benefits. Before long, the Soul Beast army also noticed the uninvited guests from the northwest, and a portion of them split off to engage the new arrivals. Seeing this, Elder Song instantly realized reinforcements had arrived. "Hold the line, everyone," he shouted. "Victory is within our grasp." With that, he was the first to charge out, heading straight for the fierce beasts. Elder Song's use of the uninvited guests to motivate the Shrek warriors played a crucial role, as the word reinforcements ignited the fire in everyone's hearts. Unseen by anyone, 20 kilometers to the northwest, Huo Yuhao was controlling 9 gates of the undead. All kinds of undead creatures were constantly spewing out from the gates. Behind him, a crimson gold vertical eye flickered with light. It was the true body of Huo Yuhao's martial soul, the Eye of Azura. After some time, the Eye of Azura trembled violently and transformed back into Huo Yuhao. His spiritual power was depleted, forcing him to stop the output of the undead army. On the other side, Bai Ji was at a loss. The Star-Do Great Forest had already lost over 200,000 soul beasts, yet Shrek City still had not fallen. Moreover, this was just one human city. Even if they were to win this battle, the soul beasts wouldn't gain much, as the human world held nothing they desired. They were only fighting for their living space. For a moment, her face pale, Bai Ji was lost in a daze. High in the sky, although Tian was sealed by the combined efforts of Elder Xian and Elder Mu, he could sense the dire situation of the Soul Beast army below. He began to assault the seal at all costs. Soon, with a series of loud rumbles, Tian finally broke out of the seal. After the four great fierce beasts conferred, they issued an order for a temporary retreat and to annihilate the undead army. In this battle, the Star-Do Great Forest's vitality had been greatly damaged. Therefore, whether to ultimately attack or retreat, the fierce beasts awaited Tian's decision. High in the sky, Elder Xian had returned to his human form. Beside him, Elder Mu's light-formed figure flickered in and out of existence. Both of them were extremely weak. When Tian saw that over 40% of his Soul Beast army had perished on the battlefield, his rage soared to its absolute peak. The exhausted Soul Beasts formed up again, waiting for Tian's command. Just then, points of light flew over from the distance at astonishing speed. A green dot at the very front shot towards the beast god Tian like a meteor. Then, a powerful voice rang out, "Tian, if you want to destroy Shrek, you'll have to ask for this old man's permission first. We haven't seen each other in 100 years, why not fight again?" Hearing the voice, Elder Xian's tense face relaxed a little. The man was none other than the Body Sect's master, Busi. Not long ago, he had reached the level of a limit Dolua. He was slightly stronger than Elder Xian, yet a little weaker than Long Xiaoao. In everyone's eyes, holding off Tian for a short time should not be a problem. "Busi, it's you again." Tian roared upon seeing the newcomer. "Since you're seeking death, this sovereign will grant your wish." Immediately after, countless poisonous bubbles covered Shrek City. This was one of Tian's ultimate skills, Black Dragon's Fury. Busi didn't understand why Tian was so enraged. With a shake of his body, he transformed into a 100-meter-tall green giant. Facing a great enemy like Tian, Busi didn't dare hold back and used his body martial soul right from the start. With a second awakening and a wave of his hand, he shot out countless green rays, accurately targeting every single purple bubble. This green light was Busi's 8th spirit ability and his strongest area of effect attack, Death's Feast, with each ray containing a corrosive poison. But Tian was, after all, much stronger than Busi. After his purple bubbles extinguished the green rays, many still fell from the sky into the city. Shrek's titled Dolua experts defended with all their might, but it still resulted in 6 or 7 of them being injured. At this moment, the reinforcements from afar finally arrived. They were the experts from the Body Sect and the Heaven Soul Empire, consisting of 13 titled Doluos and over 100 soul masters of 6 rings or more. One of the titled Doluos shouted, "Elder Tian, we're late." This person was Jin Peng, whose title was Jin Shin Dolua and whose martial soul was his own body trunk. His status in the Body Sect was second only to Busi, and he possessed a soul power cultivation of rank 96. Elder Tian immediately smiled and said, "Old Jin, you've come at the perfect time. We owe you a huge favor for this." But Jin Shin Dolua replied, "Shrek owes no favor. If it weren't for Huo Yuhao asking for help, we wouldn't have been willing to come." Elder Tian was stunned to hear this. Jin Peng then explained, "This time, Shrek did a great thing. They rescued all the young talents imprisoned by the Sun-Moon Empire, most of whom belonged to our Heaven Soul Empire. Furthermore, Huo Yuhao went to the Heaven Soul Empire's capital to seek help. After discussing with our Emperor and Busi, we rushed here. After all, a favor from Shrek must be repaid." He added that reinforcements from the Star Luo and Doling empires would be arriving later. When Elder Tian heard that it was Huo Yuhao who went for help, he was overjoyed, as this meant Huo Yuhao was still alive. He had no way of knowing that Huo Yuhao was watching from the city walls at that very moment. Tian has gone mad, Elder Mu suddenly said. Elder Tian quickly looked up at the sky and saw Tian's black dragon body burning with a deep purple flame. Every strike forced Busi to retreat step by step. Elder Mu said gravely, Tian is overdrawing his life force. Evidently, he has also noticed the arrival of reinforcements. Tian wanted to turn the situation around by himself. If the battle dragged on and all of Shrek's reinforcements arrived, the soul beasts would be in trouble against the combined power of the 3 empires' elites. With a loud bang, Busi fell from the sky, his body crackling with purple lightning as he violently spat out blood. On Tian's body, dozens of wounds had appeared. At this moment, Tian roared madly, "You all must die. The hatred for the Auspicious Beast's death, the hatred for the slaughter of my people. Even if this sovereign falls here today, I will kill every last one of you." As he spoke, the purple flame on his body turned purplish gold. The faces of Elder Tian and Elder Mu changed drastically. Their opponent was actually going to fight to the death. With Tian's cultivation of over 800,000 years, even with the combined forces of Shrek and the Body Sect, they would still suffer devastating casualties. The city would fall, and its people would perish. At this critical moment, Huo Yuhao decisively sent a mental message, Tian, you dare. If you dare to destroy my Shrek, I will sever your Star Do Great Forest's future lineage. Immediately after, a golden light emitted from Huo Yuhao's body, and he floated up. Behind him, a 3-eyed, light-formed figure began to appear. Elder Mu, Elder Tian, and Jin Peng cried out Yuhao. As Huo Yuhao continued to rise into the air, 7 spirit rings, 1 white, 1 purple, 2 black, and 1 crimson, pulsated around his body. This strange combination of spirit ring colors left everyone stunned. The next moment, a rose-gold light began to burn all over Huo Yuhao's body. The originally quiet soul beast army instantly let out mournful cries. "It's you. You're the one the Auspicious Beast sacrificed itself for." Tian stared at Huo Yuhao and said in shock. Huo Yuhao stated directly that Wang Qiu'er had sacrificed herself for him and that the Auspicious Beast's power was now fully integrated into his body. If he died, the power of fate would also be completely severed, which meant the luck of the Star Do Great Forest would be cut off. "Bastard!" Tian roared in anger upon hearing this, and a shadowy claw seized Huo Yuhao. Completely unconcerned, Huo Yuhao did not resist. His eyes filled with fury, Elder Xian warned Tian, if Huo Yuhao is harmed, I will definitely annihilate every soul beast in Stardo, leaving nothing behind. But Tian responded coldly, I'd like to see how Elder Xian would destroy Stardo. Suddenly, Huo Yuhao interjected, I can. I have the sacrificial inheritance of the Imperial Auspicious Beast. He explained that if he were to die, the luck of the Stardo Great Forest would be severed with just a single thought. He then asked Tian if he believed in fate. Tian could only roar helplessly, but he did not dare to touch Huo Yuhao again. The man and the beast then began to argue about the issue of soul beast survival. Tian explained that soul masters already required a large number of spirit rings. Now, with the addition of the soul engineer profession, even soul masters who couldn't advance to high ranks could progress through special methods, which meant they too would kill low-level soul beasts to obtain spirit rings. As soul tools became increasingly powerful, the soul beast's living space would be further squeezed by humans. Tian revealed that the reason he had launched the Beast Tide was to expand their territory, otherwise they would sooner or later be enslaved and exterminated by humans. Huo Yuhao was stunned to hear this, not expecting Tian to be so rational. He then said he wanted to show Tian something. With a flash of white light, the Snow Empress flew out from Huo Yuhao's forehead. Even with his vast experience and knowledge, Tian couldn't help but be stunned upon seeing her, naturally discerning that this was not some kind of spirit ability. Huo Yuhao then told Tian about spirit souls. He explained everything in detail, from the Snow Empress embryo and its transformation into a spirit soul, to the story of Electrolux and the undying wisp of his spirit. He stated that the birth of the Snow Empress spirit soul represented the future and the hope for coexistence between humans and soul beasts. After hearing this, Tian calmly said, but you still failed, after all. The Snow Empress lost her soul and her consciousness. How can this spirit soul you speak of be considered a success? Huo Yuhao frankly admitted, a new power's existence is certainly not perfected after just one experiment. It requires many more attempts to be possible. He then told Tian that the Snow Empress had granted him 4 spirit rings, and for at least those 4, he had not hunted a single soul beast. Moreover, he argued that the existence of a spirit soul is more powerful than directly possessing a spirit ring. As long as Tian was willing to find soul beasts nearing the end of their lives to fuse with humans, it would be a continuation of life for them as well. It could be called a win-win situation. Regarding this revolutionary proposal, Tian was silent for a long while before looking up and saying, Are you willing to return with me to the Stardo Great Forest to attempt the research on spirit souls? You must prove with your actions what you just said. Tian warned that if Huo Yuhao deceived him, he would ensure Shrek City's destruction next time. Huo Yuhao readily agreed. After reaching an agreement, Tian released him. Huo Yuhao went to Elder Mu and knelt down, telling him that he had persuaded Tian to retreat and end the Beast Tide. He explained that he would be heading to the Stardo Great Forest to research spirit souls and show the results to Tian, in order to maintain the coexistence and ecological balance of humans and soul beasts. Finally, Huo Yuhao asked Elder Mu to find some volunteers who were at their bottlenecks and bring them to the Stardo Great Forest for the spirit soul experiments. With that, Tian grabbed Huo Yuhao and flew away. The Soul Beast army also receded like a tide. If you liked it, please like, follow, and subscribe so you don't get lost. Next episode, a commentary on the Spirit Soul Experiment and the Spirit Pagoda. Beast God Tian gifts Huo Yuhao age reversal.